Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today's video is working again on my postcard keeper and treasure keeper as well, which is being adapted into a photographic keeper. Does that all make sense? It's hard to know what to call all these new inventions that we're all creating and morphing into different designs. And anyway, let's get started. Now, what I've got here are some threads because it's time to start doing a little bit of thread painting. So they're sitting there. I have my standard cotton, which I've used to stitch all of the pieces of fabric down to start the base. And I'm sort of still at the base stage, to be honest. And I also grabbed the actual postcards because before I get too far ahead of myself, I just need to check sizing. Now, I took this away for my recent trip down to Susanna's retreat in Ballarat. So when the girls were working on the project, I was doing some homework. So what I've done is we'll start with the treasure keeper first. Now, this is a project that Rachel has been working on using elements from her treasures and bringing them all together into a wrap of sorts. There's all sorts of names for them out there. That's why I stumbled there for a moment thinking, well, what am I calling this? Do I need to call it anything? Because this is going to hold photographs for me. Now, in addition, the postcard keeper is holding my postcards from my trip to Italy, and I did a project like this with my French postcards. So it seems to become a thing. When I go on a travel overseas, I get the postcards and then I can stitch something to hold them. And the treasure keeper came along, perfect timing, because my husband Gaz picked up these beautiful photographs from a local photographer, and as I created the keeper for these just disappeared. And then it dawned on me that we could do something with the treasure keeper or treasure shrine, or there's heaps of names out there. And that's how this little guy joined the party. Now, what I did in Ballarat was just stitch the fabrics that I selected with you guys in part 2. And part 1 was my measurements and I guess nutting out the whole process. And I think that's when this dawned on me that this might work for these little guys. I have running stitched or canvas stitched down multiple layers of textiles to create the base. And now it's time to embellish. Since then, there's been many YouTubers come out with their versions of it, and there's been some fantastic ideas floating around. At the moment, I'm keeping it pretty simple. I plan to do another one in my near future where I get a little bit more elaborate in the construction and have the pockets and the little books and storytelling and all of that. And I did start to think about that for this project, but I'm like, no, just calm the farm and keep it simple. Now, what I've got here is just everything stitched down. The things I did change and add, in the last video you would have seen this piece of Rachel fabric. If you were to put that text underneath that image as a strip, it was sitting here. I took with me a piece of this fabric, which also came from Italy, and planned to somehow work it into it, and I just slung it into my bag. And in the process, that piece, or this, was just in the wrong spot, and I had stitched it down. I couldn't find roses that best sat in the right spot, so I ended up removing it. It was sitting to one side. Roll forward a couple days, and I ended up breaking it down into 2 smaller elements, because as my piece started to fold together, now who was I talking to? Susanna. I was saying this like looks simple, but it's not actually simple at all, because we lay it down and we position everything we like, whether it's the front or the back, which has all come together now for me. You then start fiddling around with all of these flaps. And when you start doing that, you start to look at it in a completely different way. So that piece of fabric of Rachel's that I split and transferred to 2 new locations was sitting here, and the rose was here, and it was sort of barely any rose. Can you hear that rain? Like, seriously, it's like the heavens have opened up. We've been expecting a weather system to come through, And Sunday afternoon was our turn, and literally it has just started pouring. Gentle, no thunder, no lightning, but just, you know, pull the plug out of the bathtub, out it goes. That's what's happening. Anyway, sidetrack. I hope the noise is not too annoying for you. Yeah, so when I cut this piece out, it was sitting, if you imagine, that was all the space left. And I was like, oh, I lose most of the story of the roses, so hence why I unpicked the Rachel snippet, relocated it, and laid it down. And to get it sitting right, I was a bit short here. There was a selvage which I trimmed off, but that's not a problem because there's an opportunity to bring a piece of lace in here or a trim or something. So that's sort of getting ahead of the embellishing stage. I'm still working on the base. So with that in mind, as you start flipping and flopping these things, you seriously need to do it a lot to have a look at what it actually is presenting like when it's in front of you, which makes it quite interesting design-wise. It's not just a case of lay your strips out and then plonk your fabric down. You really need to fiddle and work out, like 100 times I've done this, is that going to be in there, that or that, or that and that? Then how are we securing it? Do I like this? Now I've got a clasp, a button or a ribbon. I'm not sure how I'm securing it. It's now in the middle of that leaf. That's what I mean. So don't be afraid that if something's just not gelling, to unpick it and readjust it. And that's what I think is the beauty of this project. You can fiddle. So at the moment, that is the final location of all the flips and flops and things like that. But I do need to check that these pictures will fit. Yes, they do. I was a bit concerned that I might be getting a bit close on this edge. Let me zoom up a bit. For goodness sakes, you can barely see. That's better. There was a piece of calico here where I wrote lace. That was to remind me that there's pockets needed for these pictures. It's floating around here somewhere. I don't know where it's got to. I've slung things everywhere here. Things are like, anyway. But that's okay. I know I need pockets. That was more to remind me that there needs to be something added here. Yeah, so that's going to work. It just pays to double check. I guess it's one of those projects that you can't just lay it out and you think you're done. You have to check every step of the way. Really make sure it works. So that's where we're at with that piece. The next stage of this will be thread painting and additional lace. So we'll see how we go in this video, where we, you know, carry on with the project on this little guy. But for now, I'm going to put it aside because I feel like that's moving forward nicely. It just needs embellishing. So the base is done, embellishing is next. Now this one, this is also coming together, and I have some little opportunities where I wasn't sure what I was going to add next, but didn't rush it. I've got gaps here, gaps there. This little bit is extra, yet to become a trimming, or it's kept. Who knows? So that's where we're at with this piece. Everything is stitched and the center is marked by a couple pins. It became obvious again, once again, check your measurements, make sure everything fits. And now that I'm back in my craft room, I can grab these postcards and just double check and make sure I'm on the right track, which I believe I am. And I put some markers in there when I was sitting at the retreat thinking it should be right, but don't go any further until you get home and double check. So let's just do the check. That's excess, I think, but we're leaving it for the moment because who knows. And then there's the pins, which denotes the center, and Bob's your uncle, we are good. Okay, all right, happy. Well, I'm not unhappy with it, put it that way. It's looking really good. So I'm going to put these away so that I don't dog-ear them and destroy them. So pop them over on my shelf. Now, the fabric for the inside of the keeper, the lining, haven't decided what it is yet, got no idea. Got lots of options, but most of them are really heavy fabrics. So after doing all this stitching and just realizing how tactile this is becoming and dense, I'm possibly thinking of finding something fairly fine, just a cotton or something like that. Whether it's one of my Italian fabrics, maybe not, because I did tend to shop upholstery fabrics, vintage, new, and some meterage of fabrics I bought were upholstery fabrics. So I'm a bit concerned that this will get too thick, but it's a decision another day. So let's flip it over and we'll see where we're at. I'm just going to adjust this pin as well because it's catching. So that little line of stitching is the center. You probably can't see there's 3 pins there, but that's just to keep me, you know, on track. Right, thread painting. I've got my threads here. I think they work beautifully. I'm going to meander around the piece and pick up some elements to stitch. Now my enthusiasm may be a lot or less. I don't know yet. I'll see how the week goes, but opportunities to thread paint that I thought was this here, that little cluster there, because that is going to be underneath and a postcard will sit there. So I thought that was a great little spot to do a little something over here, something down the bottom here, because that is the top coming down on top of the postcards. That flap there is to stop them sliding out. If you were to pick them up off the table, you don't want your postcards sliding everywhere, so that's why that fold is there. And the birds. I might even play in here. I've never stitched this, so look, at the end of the day it's going to come down to time. It really is. And it's one of those things, do I do a 3-part series, lickety-split, it's done and you guys see it finished, or do I take my time and enjoy it? Because this is a bit of a special memory piece for me. So I'm sort of the opinion that I might work over it over a period of time. You know, I just don't want to rush it. But what I want to do next is show you some of my stitching. Now, here on this bird piece, I did my running stitch on the diagonal, and when I got to the bird I just stopped because I know I'll do something with them and I didn't want to fight the big chunky running stitches. This piece of trim down the bottom, oh no, it's not trim, it's actual fabric. I just highlighted some of the lines that were already there. This one here I did horizontal running stitch. This one I went vertical. I was going to thread paint into all of this, but I just love it. Like, you know, sometimes the girl's got to just say, why go and put your scribble all over it and just let it be? So that fabric fell into that category. This fabric here of Rachel's, I did the diagonal lines again, but then come back the other way. So it's given it more of a trellis quilted look, which I love. I nearly didn't go over this flower, but I decided to in the end, because just in case the enthusiasm says, nah, I'm not going to stitch it, it's so beautiful, leave it as is, at least it's stitched. So I think if I wanted to really embellish it, those stitches would disappear. If I wanted to just do a small smattering of stitching, I can easily snip those, reverse them back out of that zone, knot them off, and that would then expose that back to me to stitch. So lots of options. It's never, the good thing about thread is the old quick unpick was invented. So if you do change your mind and you have time and you want to embellish some more, you know, you can. And this little rose here. So that's how I approach the background in getting everything adhered to this calico. So what I want to do now is grab some more textiles to complete the background. So I've got my box of Italian bits and bobs here, and I want to grab out something and add it. Now, I don't think this has appeared anywhere. So it's just going to be a case of embellishing a little more with the background fabrics. Then I can move into the thread painting phase and the lace embellishing phase sooner rather than later. Let's have a look at this. I love that colour. Now this has appeared on this one, didn't it? Didn't I? Oh, I didn't. Did I not? Okay. Good. Something new. I like that there because that's going to bring that gold in, and this little guy's got it on his throat. So let's trim you a little bit bigger than my background, because you know when you stitch all these beautiful textiles down, depending on your mood, your stitches may have a little bit more tension on them or not, and the last thing you want is to have it so perfectly sized that you go and stitch it and the thing shrinks on you. What am I doing here? How did that get upside down? Well, I like that raggy edge. Let's have that down. So I'm going to pin that there. So that'll be the next one to stitch down. I got it upside down. Doesn't really matter. That's the beauty of these upholstery fabrics. They can be two fabrics in one. They're so beautiful. All right, we'll pop you away. I did want to put a little bit of ticking on this piece. Now, when I went to Ballarat, I grabbed some ticking that I had kicking around. Technically, this is not Italian ticking. This is French ticking. Now, I did get a piece of ticking. Let's grab it out. It's just in the cupboard here. It's a mustard. And I did want a piece of that inside. I had a thought then and I only said one word, and you're probably thinking, what are you talking about? This just popped into my little pea brain. I need pockets. And I'm wondering, so we're going off on a tangent like we do, I might use this as my pocket. Oh, I like that. And look at this. See all this? This has been harvested from a old mattress, or probably a mattress. See, there's threads. Aren't they just a bit special? Let's make that our pocket. It's the right width. Seriously, how good is that? If I cut just below, I wonder if I can tear it. My ticking is pretty tough. It's quite a dense fabric for obvious reasons. Is it tearing straight? Yep, done. So how quickly we've jumped to the other project, but that's all good. So we've got some threads there, oh, just beautiful. I still catch Gaz every so often, and with that perplexed look on his face, like, seriously, is that inspiring you? Oh my goodness. So let's just pin that. And then what we'll do is, I'm thinking we will soften the stripes with some lace, especially in the center, because there's no history there. Let's call these little historical mark making opportunities. That little bit, I might even take that around. Oh yeah, that's a bit cool. That's what I'm trying to describe with this. Make sure you fold it 50 times. When I was watching some of the fellow YouTubers make them, though, it was constantly being folded, and great viewing because you can see, the concept coming together. I totally get it now. I sat there and flipped and flopped so many times. This is certainly not a project I think you can rush, because there's the vignette of the whole piece, but then there's the vignette of each side, and then there's this vignette happening of there. Like, yeah, it's great fun. Great fun. If you haven't made one yet, have a go, because it's great. And especially if you can come up with a theme for it. So the next one of these I'm going to make is an Easter one, because I just love Easter, and I've got in my stash some of Rachel's fabrics. And then there's just the whole colour palette of Easter. So stay tuned for that. And another one I thought I could do maybe later in the year, I've got all of Grandma's brooches, and you know, she was a lady that wore a beautiful brooch on her blouse when she went to the CWA meetings or the church meetings, and they're sitting in a safe place, and I love them. And when I was with the girls in Italy, Juju, hi Juju, she was using brooches and medallions and things to enhance her pieces, and I haven't really done that in my work, and I thought, what a great opportunity. But no, Corrine, you're not going to go out and start buying brooches. And I remembered I had Grandma's brooches. Now, in addition, I've since added my father's mother's brooches, which is even older generation again. And I thought, what a beautiful place to create a treasure keeper that holds these brooches, and even when it's completed with the brooches in it, it can go back into the safe and be safe, so that, you know, no rat bags come in and steal your treasures, but you know, it's safe in some fabric. So anyway, beside the point, that's a future project coming up. Not sure when I'll do it, but it's on the chalkboard. We need something for here. Back to gathering bits and bobs to finish my work. Now I have this beautiful Napoleon scrap. There's a face there. I don't know what that was. It was just a mark, I think. So there's an opportunity to use that. I'm just slinging fabrics to one side here to delve down in, and I think I need a bigger piece of this. So I'm trying to get my hands on the big one. Yeah. I'm thinking having a slither of it. It's so beautiful. So delicate, huh? And this is a fold, so need to be mindful of the fabric being soft, and this is. So, oh, look at that bird. Can we get you in there somewhere? Where would you sit? Another bird. Oh boy, you're sweet, but you're going to cover that. Might not be your spot, mate. Let's just slide to another end of the fabric and see. Oh, there's a bird facing that way. Once again, where's the fold? Just bear with me, guys. I'm going to flip that. See, it's right on the fold. It would be probably a waste to use him. Back to this little scrap. I have this little cheruby face. It's not doing much for me. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's tricky when they're big prints. I'm just going to pass that for a moment and go to the next piece of red fabric. This might be better. Yeah, this is better. It's still soft. I can get a lineal line. The design is not forcing my hand creatively. It's just generic. It picks up on the red down the bottom here. So I'm thinking I don't want to cover the little bird's tail too much. Is that going to tear? Nope. Don't force it. Got to be a little bit careful with these old fabrics, don't you? They can just disintegrate. Yeah, that's better. So I'm going to put, I think, you right up to here. So it peeks around on the other side. The rain's just stopped. Like literally the bathtub's empty and it's done. Let's just pin that there. I'll fiddle with this more when I go to stitch it because, you know, that's how it seems to go. And double check that everything is in order. I might even shorten that because it's encroaching on the little guy's tail. So I'm thinking I'm going to pull back from him and maybe put a piece of lace there so that he's not so overpowered by that big red line, which gives me another little piece that might be able to pop up somewhere else to sort of help this all come together. I know, I'm thinking down here. So there's a bit of a spot for something. I might just pop that there. Could bring it down so it peekaboos on the other side. I think I might do that. And then maybe take some lace through that region there. So let's just pin you. And once again, I'll just stitch it down. These little smaller bits and pieces, possibly I'll just do a overcast stitch around the perimeter. Well, you know, I might go through it with running stitch. Who knows? Decision for another time. Let's see if we can find a spot for this cherub. Not yet. Let's do some lace. I'm just going to grab one of my trays here with yeah, like that. Just a little piece. That's a crocheted trim. And that can sit just in there. Might bring it up a little bit. Do I see this edge peeking out? But anyway, like I said, it's just a case of pin it down. And when I get a moment to sit and stitch, I can double check everything, so to speak. I'm going to rearrange these pins a little because I want to keep folding it. I've got to keep in mind that I need to pin the right direction so I can easily fold it up and not be fighting against a sharp pin. And that rain is literally gone. Isn't that amazing? It's like a cloud has X volume of water in it and boom, it's gone. Or it's moved on, that it's no longer, it's getting a bit boxy around you. So let's just take this little piece. A little scrap. Just looking at the design, that'll be the other way. So I might just do something along those lines. I'll save you. He might end up on the treasure keep. Let's see if there's some more lace that we can grab. Little cherub. Fold line there, so that could go there as an additional element. Yeah, I like that. Just going to put it a bit off center. And there's no particular piece that I want to put on this project, as in the lace. I'm just literally reaching over and going, oh, that reminds me of the market, that reminds me of this, and I'm just slapping it down. And we'll then have a look at now that's a fold. We'll have a look at where it sits in the mechanics of the piece, the engineering side of things. I think it might be time to do that. I think I need something here. See that nick out of there? It's bugging me a little bit, but you know, don't panic, it's all good. Let's do this next and see how things look. So pretend that that edge is trimmed off. Just for some reason haven't done it yet. Can hang around until we know we don't need that bit of fabric. So this is when you start looking at smaller versions of your piece and see like how bold did that look around those little birds. Like to me, I was like, oh gosh, that's heavy, it's drowning them. But then you go and do this and suddenly that little bit of burgundy, I think, is perfect for those birds. Yeah, really good. Happy with that. Need something here to soften you. Just grab my tray again. Something lineal. That's a bit cute. It's a scrap. So let's audition these two. I don't want anything too fine because I think the piece is quite chunky. I'm going to lose that rose if I get too big. I like how that's a half. Once again, it's in the fold. What else is here? Where was that other one? Was too big. I need to go. That's a classic. Like it's a favourite. Maybe we do something that then goes that side. Once again, pin it and then flip and flap it around and see if it actually works everywhere. I don't mind that all the way along there to probably there. And if that went over, it would peekaboo that side. Yeah, I like that. Okay, you're in. Let's frame that rose. So if I do some stitching on that rose, I think it'll make sense. So then, do I want... Oh gosh, guys, you could spend hours fiddling with this. That's why this is tricky to do in a video series for you, because there's literally so much fiddling you can do. I'm going to bring them down together. No, because it's a fold. I'm going to take you up. I like that. Here I was trying to hide that little bit, but I'm going to embrace it now. I like the lace disappearing under it like it's a repair, and I'll probably stitch around that like it's literally a patch because something's torn. That rose works there. Yeah, that's good. Happy with all of that. Once again, let's fold it up, double check. I still have some more opportunities to put lace on this, but flip it around, flip it around. The big fold is down the bottom. How quickly I forgot. Tuck that in. Just so I know it's true size. All right, so we're now sitting with it on our lap. We're having a trip down memory lane. Where would I put some little morsels of lace? A finer lace, I think, would work there. I need something to go along there. So maybe, see, I can see my backing fabric there. So we need something here. Let's go to the stash. I haven't used that fabric on this. It's on the Treasure Keep. So I'm thinking, because it's got lines too, like let's make it easy on ourselves. Or do we get that ticking? Ticking, where are you? Or do we peek a bit of ticking in? I think I will. And I might go over the edge to get the finer lines. So we do oh, it's darker on the other side. So I've got the underside. I think I like the underside. It's a bit more muted. I'm going to put that there. I don't want to go over this blue. I love the blue. So I'm going to sneak it in here. I think we can go, where was our fold? We've got one there and one in the middle. I'm going to sneak it up into here a little bit. Finer lines or solid and fine? Oh my goodness. The thinking that goes into this, like it's just funny, isn't it? I will thread paint that flower potentially, she says. I'm going to pin here first because I know I want to save that. And that will dictate where this lays. I know when I got to the point where everything was stitched down at the retreat, I didn't have my Italian fabrics and I was just sitting there. I was like lost. I was like, oh, I want to keep going, but I didn't have my bits and bobs with me. So a few of the girls come up to me and said, well, what are you doing next? So I said, well, probably nothing because I don't have it all with me. So that will work in nicely there. That's going to be excess, but I won't cut it because I'm thinking about that side. So that'll be stitched down. I can now bring this lace up into here to merge the two areas. And when the lining goes in, that potentially could be utilised over the edge and butt into the lining. Probably will never be seen because the postcard pockets will be stitched down and you know what I mean? You won't see in there, but that's okay. I'm happy with that. Or I'll get really miserly and I'll tear off the excess. I can't decide if it's the thin lines I want or the heavy lines, you know. I'm looking up at the TV now to see what you guys are seeing. So will it be the thick line or the thin? I'll leave it at the thick and I'm going to be miserly. There you go, she's just done it. I'm going to pilfer off that. Shame to lose you. And now I can take this and go wandering elsewhere. What about a piece there? Let's just pin it. And then it can come over and we'll see how far down the other side it goes. Just because. Okay, flip it. Let's see what this side looks like. So we've got this. Okay, you're gone. I can hear my phone buzzing. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm bringing you right down into there because I think it looks good. So that means my little cherub piece needs to be repositioned, and I'm thinking he is going there. I think that's heaps better. It's like it's anchored. I think he's upside down at the moment. He's been anchored now. Yeah, I had it down here, but I couldn't quite decide. That has framed it for me. So I like that. But as I said, you need to check, because it's all well and good, all these little locations. But when it starts being folded up, it can look like a hot mess and you're covering an opportunity. So let's just have a quick fold. Yeah, see that? So that's my bottom edge that the postcards sit in, and I like that. Probably could do with something over here at some point, whether it's a scrap of fabric or a piece of lace, but at the moment I'm liking 1, 2, 3, 4 elements popping through, so that's good. The flap coming down at the moment is quite plain, but there will be stitching here, and we got our little bit of ticking. I'm really happy with that. There's our little vignette there. Tuck all you in once again. There's our little vignette here. Yet to have something or not. I do just love that, like, just, I guess, a place to breathe. That those two are more simple. Yeah. And then that, oh, I like that side. Oh, I like that. There's an opportunity here for me, whether that's another scrap of fabric or another lace. Where's all those squares that, where? Let me just delve into my tray here to the side. Oh, there's some triangles. Squares was what I had in mind, but they're so big. Bits of lace and semicircles. Too big. No, just leave it. Just leave it. Something will come of it all. See, when it's folded out, I like it when this disappears and it's just that. It's not quite right. So it'd be interesting. What do I put there? I just found this little scrap. This is some velvet that was on a piece. Okay, let's just get rid of all of this interference due to you're not seeing. See what I mean by flipping and flopping? Oh my goodness, if you're not in the mood for flipping and flopping, this is not the project. If you just want something where you don't have to think too hard and not second guess placements of everything, don't pick this project up today. Right, let's just look at you as I would. that lace came up to you, that would make more sense. Yeah, I like that. It just sort of feels there's not anything happening. This here potentially might not sit as far out. Once it's stitched down, see there's my fold line. It's possible we take you out of my fray of view. Let's just move you over a little bit more. So you're not really on that scene. That may help me. Let's have a look. Yeah, see that's better. Yes, see I can just see a hint of it. Yep, much better. I felt like it was coming in at me. Yeah, beautiful. All right. I feel like this has moved forward somewhat. Now it's all pinned and what a hang of a mess. Oh. So I can move on to stitching down and embellishing. I do need a piece of fabric here. See how that's a little out of alignment? So I've got one option. I could trim that, but I think I need that width for a postcard, so that didn't become an option. So I need to find something that finishes this edge. So that's also in my job list. But I'm not going to do it at the moment because I need this to be anchored. All right. Let's move you to one side. I feel like you are moving along nicely. Now, where's the little treasure keep? I want to add some more embellishing to you. So lace-wise, let's visit some pieces. These are better sizes. Let's just pinch one off. There's not a lot happening there. So I like the idea of that there. But once again, open it and see what the pocket looks like. Oh, okay. So, do we bring that up into that space? I think so. That will be thread painted. And you are just peeking. But then that doesn't look right. I preferred that there. So no, you're not coming over the other side. Decision made. Yeah, that's better. Just a little, because the button and clasp or whatever the hang it is I'm going to use to secure this. Can't get too busy here because it'll be fighting with that clasp. Okay, so what do we do there then? Maybe we bring one of these little guys in. Oh, look at you. Oh. Let's audition some of these little treasures. Yeah. Oh, a bit too similar to that shape-wise. I think you are going there. There and there. Now, do we want to use another one? No, we're going to squirrel them away because, you know, heaven forbid they all went on to one project. That would be traumatic for me. You're all tied by an old piece of cotton, so I am not going to be opening you up because, you know, can't be doing that. Something triangular. Don't know where your mate's got to. What about we do something snazzy like that? Is that snazzy? No. This is plainish. Do we do that? There. Yes. That's better. It's more subtle there. Beautiful. Or do we put it in there? But it tucks in. No, I like it up there. I've got to be a little bit mindful too that these products in these keepers are paper. So surface friction damage might be a real thing. So I need to just be mindful of that I don't get carried away with texture and you go and slide your postcard in and you dog-eared your postcard. That would be a great little tuck. It's very flimsy, but just an idea. But we're not going to do that. You can see how quickly you can create little pockets and tucks on these little pieces. All right. So what else have we got kicking around? These are pretty. I wonder. If that was stitched down like that, can I still get the picture in without dog-earing it? Hang on, I'm just grabbing a photo. I like the fact that it's broken up the shape. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. And now I don't like that. So we're going to get rid of that one because I've got two triangles. He is not big enough to do what I'd like down here to soften this. No. So this little guy, he's coming to the party. Well, one of these. I think they're all the same. So we're just going to grab that off of there. And we're going to, it's not as good as the one I road tested. They are all slightly different. They're just all triangles to keep them together. It was tricky to work out what to do to cluster them because I didn't want anything to rust. I didn't want to jab myself in the future with a rusty. I'll get rid of that before I go and pin it. That'd be disappointing. Yeah, I like that better. And that can just be secured to the pocket, but then I'll come up here with my stitching so it's like a little tuck. See, that could be a tuck for something else, but I don't have a something else, so yeah, I don't like that now. Do I put that up the top? Oh, look, guys, you could fiddle with this for ages. I don't know. Who knows what'll end up happening? But it is fun playing and thinking. I'm just rummaging again. I really like that, but oh, it's too precious. I can't. Just looking at some unusual laces. You're a bit unusual. Is that better? What's around this side? Could that come around? No, that's a bit odd. No. Oh, look at that. Let's flip it. I need a bigger area. How do I work this in? Oh, gosh. Oh, I like that. Oh, you beautiful thing. Let me just pin it because once I fold it, that soon changes the aesthetics of everything. So if you go there, you gorgeous thing. I still see my beautiful rose. It's raining again, but just softly. Maybe someone's filled the bathtub up again, but then they've gone, no, empty it. There we go. I like how you come over there. I sort of felt like that was an opportunity for a something. Where's that red fabric? Did we end up using that cherub space? No, we didn't. Here, look. Come here, my little friend. Nope, don't like that. We'll just pin it and see what comes of it. What I'll probably do is sit down on the couch with all of this boxes of stuff around me, and then as I work an area like stitching that, do I want something else here? Do I want to add here? Because at the moment, Oh, beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. You come down there. See, I still don't like you for some reason. Oh, I like it there. Do I like it there? I don't know. I don't mind it there. How many times has that piece of lace moved, guys? And wonder where it'll end up. Let's just pin you there for now. I like that. That feels a bit more geometric layered, and the stripes and the floral, all of this is in the background. That, the floral is the feature. That, the floral is the feature. So my pieces of lace, I think, need to be more floral. This, I don't know, I love the text. I think once this is thread painted, whatever does end up here will be something really small and soft. I'm thinking out aloud. Where's some more inspirational tray of goodness? See, I haven't even got down to the little things, so maybe it'll be something just tiny. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah. Just see how we go. That's a good start. Yep. Yep. Oh, love that. Still need a solution there. Loving that. It's not too full on yet, but who knows what will happen there. Do I have a solution there? I'm just leaning down to my scraps. I really like this velvet. I know it's not old, but I really like it. What if the velvet came around the corner? See, it's already folded there. This was the tabs that held that Dutch cross-stitch sampler. You remember the big sampler? This was the tab tops. I like the idea that a tiny little piece of this sneaks around. And will it interfere with the card or the photo going in the other side? And there's already a fold. It's aged, as in stained. So I like the idea that that's peeking there. So let's pin it. I think the ticking will come up over it. And that will go. Gosh, I haven't even got to the trims yet. Gosh, this project could go on for months. I won't put you through the torture of it. What I'll do going forward now is when I do some more on it, I'll just update you. It's all in the world of the Roxy project. So even if it's not an actual update, as in creation with you guys, I'll catch yous anyway when you're watching Cloth Tales. I just don't want to rush it. I don't want to finish it. I want to enjoy it. And I've got quite a pile of lace to the side here, and I'm only grazing off the top of it. So maybe my next update, actually this is what I'll do. My next update will be Easter with this. That gives me time to play. By then I might be finished it and kicking off the next one, and I've got this one completed. That's what I'll do. This will be completed by Easter, of which time I will start the next one. Yeah. Okay. See, I think once that's thread painted, and I'll probably pick up a bit of pink and take it up into there, that may not need anything because we've got a lot happening just here. Oh, Love it. Love it. So then that will nestle on top as this beautiful bundle of yumminess. Oh, I love how that peeks out. See, this is those vistas again. You've got this just sitting there, and you've got this little layer of the red, another layer of red. You've got this lace, but you don't know what it's about yet until you see your cherub. Hey, Fudgy. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to leave it at that. There's an hour. I've got more to stitch, more to play with. I did want to test a picture, didn't I? Because I was worried that this bit of velvet would interfere. No, that's fine. It'll be just out of the way. Good. Very good. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me as I fiddle around with this. Lovely way to waste an afternoon. All right, I shall see you when I see you. Bye for now.